Welcome, everybody. This is the Agnihotra Ladies, the Cosmic Clinic. And as always, this is put on by Shantivilla Institute. Our main campus is in Tuskegee, Alabama. And I'm broadcasting live here at our Atlanta location, which is in Conyers, Georgia. Tonight's talk is called Right versus Wrong, how nature and the drought in California can teach us how to make life decisions. So, as always, we're going to get started with the Varuti mantra and then we'll jump right into the talk. Boo swaha, Agnihotra mama swaha, Ayurveda mama swaha, Surya mama burka swaha, Raja Patiyeda mama. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Thank you for joining me this evening. It's Nippy here in Conyers, Georgia. So wherever you are viewing in the United States or other parts of the world, I appreciate you for joining me for this evening talk. Like I said before, this talk is right versus wrong, how nature and the California drought can teach us how to make life decisions. So, if you don't know, here at Shantivilla Institute, we teach the ancient Ayurvedic practice of Agnihotra, which is performed in a copper pyramid. It is tuned to the circadian rhythm of nature, and it's performed at sunrise and sunset. And what we do is we have dried cow dung, we have brown rice, and then we have ghee that we use for the basic ingredients in the copper pyramid. So at sunrise, we say a Sanskrit mantra. And then at sunset, we say another Sanskrit mantra. And what this does, it brings about a profound healing effect for the entire planet and reverberates into the universe. There's an interaction between the sun and the solar system with the copper pyramid, and it releases nutrients back into the atmosphere. And as you know from reading all of the headlines, that there is a lot of pollution, there's a lot of chaos happening and all over the world today. Pollution is very pervasive. It cannot be escaped. And so this is a way for us to not only to cleanse the earth of pollution, but also the pollution that invades the minds of the humans. Because understand that pollution affects humans, it affects our behavior. As we know from the different headlines where there's seems like violent mass shootings happening 2 and 3 times in one month. Um, we need to understand that there are many forms of pollution that affect the humans, the animals, the plants, the flora, the fauna. There's no escaping that. So in Ayurveda, which, you know, Shantivilla Institute is an Ayurvedic medicine school, we're a farm and an eco center, we're environmentalists. So we like to teach on the various ways how to combat pollution and how to live your life daily in peace and harmony with all of the things that are happening here in the modern world. So as we talk about right versus wrong, you're probably wondering, how does this relate to nature? And how does this relate to what's happening in Southern California with the drought? But understand that nature is a beautiful blueprint for us how to live our lives daily in peace and harmony. Very beautiful blueprint that the Creator put in place to show humans how to live and how to do things in balance and harmony. So, when asking the question of what is right or wrong to do in your life, it's not a question or a judgment of okay, this is what you do is right and what you do is wrong. It's a question of what is your desired outcome? What do you want to happen to resolve something? All the parties involved, are they left happy, whole, and in a better place than what they were when you've made your decision of something that's right or wrong? And this means that they may not see the results of your decision making right away, but there has to be balance. So when we talk about right or wrong, we like to always point to nature, because nature will um, give you excellent example of how it works seamlessly, effortlessly, to be in congruence with everything around it. The water flows a certain way, the seasons change. There are different things that animals do, the migration of animals, and these things work together. There is a flow of nature. So when we talk about right or wrong, we always point to how does nature flow? What is happening there? And if you follow and observe what is happening with nature, then you'll understand really whatever decision you need to make, because nature is not just there to make sure that the plants grow and the animals migrate and the sun rises and sets. This is the blueprint, the ultimate blueprint that the creator put in place to guide us to be able to make these decisions. Because before we had any written books, how did you think we learned? We learned because we observed nature. So we say to you that when trying to decide if something is right or wrong, all you have to do is step outside your door. Or if you want, you can go into the woods and just observe and follow how this goes. Follow this, the ancient wisdom of nature, because nature will reveal the wisdom in every trickle of the drop of water, and how the tree branch trembles. If you look at how the flowers grow and how everything is in sync and harmony, and if you observe that, then that is how you decide if something is right or wrong for whatever decision you're making in life. That is the ultimate blueprint. And so we tried to talk about things in a very simple way, so that way it's something that you can follow daily in your life. Okay, because if it's not simple, then it's going to be hard for everyone to do it. Okay, so we say these things and give you examples and analogies that everyone can relate to, whether you're living in the United States, in Colorado, or Georgia, or Alabama, or if you're living in a small village in Peru, or if you're living in a big city in Argentina, or you're in Russia or Ukraine, wherever you are. We like to give these examples that applies to everyone. And so with right versus wrong, I know it sounds very simple, but we are saying that it is the simplicity that helps you to get the answers. You get the answers from keeping things simple by following the blueprint that the creator put here for us to not only grow our food and to understand how the planet works, but to understand how we work as individuals and how to take care of our fellow brothers and sisters. Okay, so that is the main thing that we wanted to convey in terms of right versus wrong, because there is no judgment. When we think of right and wrong, right versus wrong in society terms, it's always what this is right and this is wrong. But in nature, there is no judgment. There is only balance. So making the decision on whether to do something, you want to understand that if it is not balanced or in line with being in sync, then that directs your answer. We're not going to ever tell you what to do or whether something is right or wrong. We're going to just simply point you to nature, and that will help you get your answer. So there is no judgment. There's never any judgment, okay? So let's say you make a mistake or a misstep just understand that that can be corrected once you understand this basic concept of balance. You want to always have balance in your life, and decision making follows the same suit. Okay, so now as we go to what is happening in Southern California, with the drought, which is we've been talking about this for many months about what is happening in Southern California. They've been reporting for a while that it was at the crisis point. So now the talking is to the point now where Southern California is under the advisory. So I know that I was looking at the AP News report, because they were talking about this is the nation's largest water supplier, and it's a drought emergency. And so, but let's go back a little bit to what we're saying about balance. So, for many people that live in California, Southern California, and people that are Native Americans, and many people that understand topography and land management to begin with, too many people live in that area. And the Native Americans have known that for a long time because of just the way the land is. They went and stood out there and said, okay, there's going to be a problem at some point with water. The Native Americans have known this. So what has happened because of the sprawl of the cities in California and lots of people moving out there, there's been a lot of mismanagement of the land and its resources, and too many people live there. So going back to right versus wrong, we now know that nature will bring about its balance, whether humans like it or not. That's just how it is. So because there's too many people there, there's mismanagement of the land resources, and people want bigger and bigger places. There's been more encroachment on where native species of plants and animals live. There's not been a balance there in Southern California for a long time. And like I said, nature is going to be balanced. Now, if you may think nature can stay in balance, but no, nature in its infinite wisdom that has been installed by the creator is going to make sure it's balanced out, whether we humans like it or not, whether they have to flick us off like little ants. That's what nature does. So now this is the results that we're seeing now when the headlines saying that there's a drought, a water emergency in Southern California, is because we as humans, we have been arrogant, thinking that we can do anything we want to with the land, not understanding that land, for it to persevere for many centuries after we have gone, it has to be maintained in a certain way. The soil has to be maintained a certain way. The trees have to be maintained in a certain way. You have to do certain things with the water supply. And we do not have an infinite supply of water. Now things are polluted and people everywhere are suffering. And as we see now with the headlines in Southern California, we now understand that what affects one place affects many places, states over. Okay, many things states over. And we know even from, we were talking about this 2 or 3 years ago about some of the pollution in the air from China can now be felt in New York City. So there's no isolation when it comes to everyone that lives on this planet. And that's why we say here at Shantivilla Institute that when you take care of the planet, you take care of everyone. You're not just taking care of yourself. So to take care of the planet is a very magnanimous thing that you can do for your fellow brothers and sisters. Okay? So that is the deal with Southern California. So I don't know. I know a lot of people have been moving from Southern California to Texas and other places because of the high prices, and a lot of people have complained about the homelessness, which the homelessness is getting worse there as well as other places. So we have to understand that as humans, we have gotten so caught up in economy and making these businesses bigger, when really the economy is the people, the people, the people. That is the economy. Before we're anything else, a business owner or a tech entrepreneur, we are people meant to help each other. So, and if you think about this, we are the only animal on the planet that pays to live on the planet. I saw someone post this the other month or the other week saying, why is it that we're the only animal to have to pay the planet? And understand that the planet is here for us to live on it, to raise our children, and we have to be caretakers of it. So, unless you are some indigenous tribe in the middle of Africa that does not depend on currency, or you're living somewhere remote, every human, almost every human, has to pay to live on the planet. And so, therefore, um, um, how does that mean for those that cannot afford to pay to live on the planet? So if you're poor, you're just going to die in misery because you have no money. But if you're rich, or if you're pretty well-to-do, then you'll be okay. And that is not what the Creator wanted. So we have to understand that with all the things that we're building, we have a housing problem. But yet I still, as I go up and down Conyers, they're building $300,000, $400,000 houses in Conyers, which when I was growing up, because my mother's from Conyers, this used to be quite rural. And what I say is that we don't need more expensive housing. We need more affordable housing for everyone, because God did not mean for some of us to live extremely well and the rest of us are living in tent cities in California and in other places. I mean, we even have that here in Georgia. Okay. So that is really the main things I wanted to point out. And please understand that with what's happening in California, which is actually taking place in other places, that we've mentioned this before through the several years, that it's only getting worse, because like I said, we have atmospheric pollution, water pollution, we have soil pollution, we have pollution coming everywhere. And I mentioned earlier about pollution happening for the minds of people. So what that means is you will see the more mass shootings, you will hear about chaos happening, these suicides and different things. And that's no mistake, because think about it, pollution is pervasive on every level. And if you're breathing in 2,500 gallons of air in a 24-hour period time, what do you think happens to the mind, to your mind? Okay, so then of course you have the proliferation of different diseases now, because when there's the imbalance with nature, then you're going to see the flurry of diseases, not just for humans, but for animals as well. And then, as we see now with the volcanoes erupting and tornadoes and hurricanes and all these things, once again, as we said before, this is nature's way of trying to bring about the balance. And the balance will happen, okay, whether we like it or not. Like I said, if nature has to flick us off the planet like we're little ants, that's what it will do, because life is all about balance. So I just wanted to share these thoughts that we have, okay, this tonight, so you can be mindful and think about these things, okay? Before we leave, let me just direct you to our website. It's shantivillainstitute.com. That's SHANTI, Villa Institute.com. And Shanti means peace in Sanskrit. And we have Agnihotra kits, if anyone would like to start practicing Agnihotra, because Agnihotra, as we said before, is a way to purify the planet. And let me just open up a kit real quick. So the Agnihotra kit includes copper spoon, copper cup, everything's copper tray, copper stand, and of course the copper pyramid. And there's also a copper, some tongs, and there's a little booklet that goes with it. And let me see, it's right near me. It comes with the instructional booklet. So if you're a meditation teacher or some other teacher, you can actually teach with this kit. Now, I don't have the booklet with me, but it comes with the booklet. And I think, oh, let me just grab it real quick so you can see it. Okay. This is the booklet that comes with the kit. It was left out of there. Okay. And then we also have our The Secret Science of Mudras, written by Sri Charles, the late Sri Charles, Sri Yanimasa. We have that. And then we have other books that are going to be coming out. We're going to be coming out soon with Sri Charles's autobiography. And we'll have that for sale as well as some other items for sale. But once again, we thank you for your support and for all of the people that have been supporting us. And we just appreciate you all. And as always, if you have any questions, you can email us at shantivillainstitute@gmail.com. You can find us on our Facebook page at Shantivilla Institute, or if you're in the Atlanta area and want to visit the Conyers location, you can go to Shanti Atlanta page. Our Shantivilla Institute location, the main location, our 13-acre farm and center is renovation, so we're not seeing people there, but we are seeing people at the Conyers location. Okay. Anyway, so have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you the next time. Take care.